Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Pulse. I'm Keanna Faircloth, and tonight I'm always excited, but I'm super excited about this young lady whom some of you may know and some of you may not know just yet. But please know that she's about to be a household name. I can feel it in my spirit, and it's not just me. It's a whole lot of other people out there that feel the same way because her voice is what you call timeless, and you're about to witness the rise of a star. Let me tell you something. Her name is Miss Samara Joy, and she joins me live from Django.
Hey,
Hi.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me tonight.
You are so welcome. It is really my honor. I remember I think I first met you in 2019 when you were a finalist for the Sarah Vaughan International Jazz Vocal Competition at NJPAC, and a prestigious competition that many have walked away from and really have just skyrocketed after finding themselves as a finalist in this prestigious international, just renowned competition. And now I'm just so curious to know what life has been like for you after winning the Sarah Vaughan International Jazz Vocal Competition.
Man, it felt like I was on the radar or something. Like everything just kind of progressed really quickly, which I'm super grateful for. But I mean, changed my life, and I'm something that I'm at a gig right now, and it's just I wouldn't have thought to say that around the time that I won. I was still in school, so I'm just really grateful for it and all the opportunities it's allowed me to have so far.
Yeah, speaking of school, you actually just graduated.
Thank
Congratulations.
you so much. Thank you.
And
200
I
grades,
understand.
all A's. So,
Oh, go girl. Yes. All A's. My goodness. So what is that? Summa cum laude?
yeah, I believe so. Yeah, we did.
Ah,
We had a virtual graduation, so
wow. Brains, beauty, and talent. The trifecta. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you. But the same day as your graduation, I understand you had a gig.
a wedding. Yeah, I was playing for a friend's sister's wedding, which was also a lot of fun. So
Oh
I
my
got the gate
goodness.
working.
Yes, way to hit the ground running, girl. Because, after you won the competition, I want to say not even 5 months afterwards, we went into lockdown because of the pandemic. Did that, do you feel that that stalled you at all? Having won this competition, being on a high, I'm sure, and then, everything all of a sudden just kind of shut down. How did that change things for you?
I mean, I'm sure everybody has a similar story of how they had so many things coming up, and then all of a sudden everything just got just disappeared. The week that the pandemic started, I was supposed to have a residency at Dizzy's. I was rehearsing for it. I was like over the weekend, all of things shutting down. What's happening? Okay, Dizzy's is still open. That Monday, that Monday, the day before we were supposed to start the residency, closed, shut down. So it was discouraging, and it was like Newport, the spot at Newport, and I was supposed to have as part of the composition was canceled. So, you know, it was discouraging, and it was like, man, just when things were starting to get going. But I think it was really a blessing in disguise in most ways. I got to spend more time with my family, as well as uh, I just connect more, with people instead of already kind of being in that hamster wheel of working or being in school and everything like that. And I got to create an album in a pandemic, so that's something that I'm also really excited about and really excited to present as things open up.
Yeah, I will. We'll get to that in just a minute, but let's go back. You're in college. Actually, I want to go back even further to, you growing up. You had a very musical driven background. Your family, they're musical people themselves. Tell me about growing up. What kind of things were playing in your household? What kind of music were you exposed to from young?
I like to say Thanksgivings were a masterclass. because that's where all my family would gather and eat and sing and fellowship and all that kind of stuff. So I heard my family singing gospel songs. My dad turned me on to Stevie Wonder and George Duke and Layla Hathaway. So I would be listening to them growing up. Kimberell, Clark Sisters.
Yes.
So it was a lot of gospel R&B, as well as my mom's side. You know, the Shaka Khan, the Kashif, what is it? I think the Dad's Band, I think they're called.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, Whispers, all of that stuff. So I got a lot of different things growing up, but strangely enough, not jazz, like at all. So,
let's get into that, because
here now.
I heard that you didn't even hear Sarah Vaughan until college, was it?
The truth. That's the truth. I didn't know who she was.
Incredible. How uncanny is it that you ended up being a finalist then in the Sarah Vaughan vocal competition?
Sorry. It's so crazy because when I got to college, like a couple months in, we're learning repertoire for class and stuff like that. And when I heard Sarah Vaughan sing Lover Man live, I was like, why? Where has this been? Like, you know, like you can sing like this, like with the things that she does with her voice and her range. It's like, you know, so she was one of the first singers that really I was attracted to when I started getting into the music in school. So it's interesting to be here now, you know, the winner of that competition.
Yeah. So how did you even find out about the vocal competition, and did anybody encourage you to apply, or did you find it on your own?
There were posters around school, and one of my professors at the time, Professor John Faddis, encouraged me to, you know, submit something. I figured that I wasn't ready because I'm still new to this, only like a year. Well, I guess I applied when I was a junior. I was a junior. I was like, I'm still new to this. I'm not really, you know, what am I doing entering a competition, and I'm not really, you know, where I want to be, I guess. So, and please let me know if it's too loud. I didn't realize that music would start playing.
It is a little loud, so if you can come closer to your mic, that would be great.
Okay. And I might move in a second, but
that's all right. Gig life, we understand.
But yeah, he encouraged me to apply, and at first I was like, I don't know if I want to do it, but I just figured, why not? You know, just submit anything. It's better than taking a shot is better than not, you know, doing it at all. So he was the main one who encouraged me to apply.
John Faddis, he's a legend right there. That's amazing. So I'm sure when he heard you, he knew that something was special about you. And honestly, just coming to know Sarah Vaughan and you're just being a college student is incredible in and of itself. And it seems like the music, jazz, has kind of been innate in you, even though that wasn't necessarily the thing that was playing in your household, which I find is the most interesting thing about you, especially with this self-titled debut album that you have dropping on July 9th. And you are taking the time with this album to sort of reinvent those standards that, you know, people have come to know and love, but you are making it your own. Tell me about how you even compiled your self-titled album. I'm sure it was a struggle trying to put songs together for a debut.
Yeah, I was just, I didn't want to include everything, but I had to make sure that there were songs that were important to me in the development, and I guess in the increasing development, but when I first started getting into it, I wanted to make sure the songs that I was first introduced to and like have a relationship with were on there. So it was definitely a serious process of elimination, trying to pick those songs and then remembering, oh shoot, I remember I played this one freshman year, da da da. So, but yeah, I mean, after we chose the final, you know, the final list, it was, and figured out the arrangements and had rehearsals and all that kind of stuff. It was pretty clear, you know, that this was a nice introduction of myself into the world.
I'd say so, and I think a lot of people also think so and are just in great anticipation of where your career is going to go after this album officially drops. Today on Afternoon Jazz, we actually debuted Stardust, and it's just such a warm and cozy are the adjectives that describe for me your voice. And Stardust, you have absolutely done it justice. Tell me about some of the artists that you've chosen to sort of model your style after. I know Billie Holiday kind of makes an appearance through the music on this album. Who are some others that have influenced you?
I think I want to say that my main, like the foundation, is Ella Fitzgerald. Um, but I've been getting more into Carmen McRae and Etta Jones. So and obviously Sarah Vaughan. So those four, Ella, Sarah, Carmen, and Etta. That's it for me. Those are my go-tos as far as swing, as far as phrasing, interpreting the song, and telling a story, and not just I don't know. Because I mean, I guess after a while, people might get tired of just she's so pretty, so pretty. But what story is she telling? So those are the singers that I feel like I'm trying to imitate and model my own storytelling after. Obviously, my story will be different, but those are my inspirations.
And it seems like the songs that it seems like interpret best are those that tell a story. Like one of the things I love to hear you sing is Jim. It seems like you're so much older than you actually are when you sing these songs. Do people say that to you?
I do get that a lot. I do.
There's a maturity. There's a maturity there that is just wow. It's unique for you to be, what, 21 now?
Yes, I'm turning 22 in November, but yeah.
Okay. Wow. Tell me about your band on this album. You've got some amazing folks backing you up on this self-titled debut album.
Yeah, I was really fortunate to be able to know these fine gentlemen, these fine musicians beforehand. So, sorry. Pasquale Grasso, the guitar player, and we're both actually students of Barry Harris. So I met him way prior to the album, and I'm fortunate enough to have him, accompany me. Ari Rowland played with Betty Carter, Vernell Fournier, amazing bass player, been on the scene, went to Juilliard with Fisher McBride, and he plays with Pasquale a lot, so I was fortunate enough to have him. And obviously the jazz maniac, the one and only, the great Kenny Washington, who needs no introduction. He was actually one of my professors at Purchase, and I was so surprised that he even said yes, but I'm grateful to have him on it as well. So, I was happy to be able to create music with them. So, and I hope I can do it in the future.
Well, I mean, really, their presence is a testament to the caliber of your talent. Folks wouldn't sign on to, be a part of your debut record if they didn't feel that you are a very, very special talent. So congratulations on that, putting those folks together for your debut. That's heavy. That's amazing.
Thank you so much.
What's next for you, Samara? You're dropping this album July 9th. I see tonight you're actually at Django's with Emmett Cohen.
Yes, I'm excited for that too. 2 sets, 9 and 10:30. So, but as far as what's next, I hope to be playing as much as possible, getting as much experience as possible, being a leader, but also being a side woman. And
Okay.
getting the balance of being around people, being around experienced musicians, as well as playing with people who are my age and kind of growing up with them and creating sort of a rapport with them. So I'm working on that balance right now. But yeah, actually, I'm excited because the day of the album, I'll be in Umbria Jazz Festival with Emmett. And I think we're playing before the Jazz Lincoln Center Orchestra. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
Wow. Wait, so you're headlining or you're performing before Jazz at Lincoln Center headlines and
Yeah, I
festivals?
don't know if it's opening for or, just playing before, but we're before them.
Wow, that's incredible. So you're off. You're now, you're off to touring and performing. The world is open back up for you. So what other gigs do you have lined up, and how can we find out, we want to follow you on this journey that's just really beginning for you? How do we do that?
Yeah, there's some dates. I know I'll be in upstate New York. There's possibly Baltimore. Definitely be in Philly in July as well. I'll have to. They're all on my website. But and I hope to before Umbria play in London with the squad at Ronnie Scott's.
Come a little closer. We can't hear you.
Sorry. I hope to be playing in London before Umbria at Ronnie Scott's.
Oh, the legendary Ronnie Scott's. That's incredible. Wow, we've got some comments here. Michelle Taylor says, congratulations. Gayhart says, hello from Germany. Hey, thank you for joining us. Derek Hogg says, great. He says, looking forward to hearing the album. Congratulations. If you guys have any comments or questions for Miss Samara Joy here, please leave them there in the comments. We don't have long with her because she has a gig. She has her gig at 9:00 tonight with Emmett Cohen at Django's. We want to encourage you to tune into that right after this as well. And coming up in just a few minutes, the finalists for this year's Sarah Vaughan International Jazz Vocal Competition will be joining us. And I'm looking forward to Samara providing some pearls of wisdom, if she would, to the finalists here in just a few minutes. But Samara, something really, really cool happened. Somebody actually mentioned that they had discovered you. What was that like when Regina King, and we're going to play a clip of Regina King actually talking and gushing about you. But how about we do that first, and then we come back and get your reaction to that. Is that cool? Here it is. This is Regina King discovering Miss Samara Joy.
I discovered a young woman who just seems like Sarah Vaughan and Ella Fitzgerald are both living in her body. But Samara Joy, if anybody has the opportunity to check her out on YouTube, this girl looks like she's about 16 years old and opens up her mouth and literally it sounds like she is like if you close your eyes, you would think you're hearing Sarah Vaughan, and you see this face, this beautiful, precious baby, if you will, and just all of this power and emotion comes out. And when I watch her and when I listen to her, her name is Samara Joy, and it brings me joy.
That is incredible honor for Regina King, actress, director, to give you props like that. How did you even find out that she knew who you were?
Okay, so here's how it happened, right? I wasn't even on social media for 3 days up to that point. I was just, trying to take a break or whatever. And I got a notification in my email that was like, oh my gosh, Regina King was so right. You're so great. And I was like, Regina King? You mean like the real Regina King? Or so I checked on Instagram and I didn't see anything. I checked Facebook, I didn't see anything. So I was like, you know what, let me just Google it. So I Googled my name and her name, and the first thing that came up was Hollywood Reporter. And I was like, okay. And I saw Spike Lee and George Clooney, and I was like, okay. And I clicked on the link, and I didn't see the video yet. I just saw the written portion, and it's Samara Joy, and she brings me joy. I was like, I started screaming. My family was like, what's wrong? What's going on? And then I found the clip in the video. I was like, oh my God. I was dancing. I put on music. I was like, I was freaking out. I was freaking out because I was like, how does this even happen? Like, is she really talking about me? Like, I can't even watch that. I can't even watch that without like shuddering or like getting getting goosebumps whenever I hear her say my name. Because I'm like, there's no way that, like, she just had a movie like come out that she directed One Night in Miami, like, has all of these things going on. But I guess I was present enough on her mind for her to mention me. I was like, come on now. I'm still in disbelief. I can't even speak when I talk about it. But I'm just so grateful. I mean, I would have never known that we could connect in that. I don't know how she found me. My YouTube is not really all that updated, so I don't know. But I'm grateful. Whatever it was that,
amazing.
It's just, yeah.
What was fun to see was your reaction on social media, which is, I was like, oh my God, did that really happen? So when I saw your reactions, I went and looked it up. I was like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you.
Man.
I know that you must have, like, oh my gosh, did your followers skyrocket after that? Like, what happened as a result of that?
Yeah, I did get a lot of new people like that. Even though it says like, I think it was like 900 likes or something, it said it reached like 5,000 people. I was like, it was just insane. I had people calling me. I was like, girl, you made it. Spike Lee wrote down your name. And I was like, I was like, I could be in Mo Better Blues too. I could be Bleak's daughter. You know what I'm saying?
I know that's right. Speak it.
I could be the jazz singer in the background of the next movie. You know what I'm saying? I can't act, but I can lip sync a little bit.
Yeah.
So that was the whole reaction. I was flabbergasted, for lack of a better word.
And I see all of that in your future movies. If you want to do Broadway, what do you want to do? What is your ultimate goal? Like, what would for you be the thing that will make you be like, all right, well, I think I made it now?
I mean, I think Broadway is a good one because I did do like musical theater in high school. In high school and middle school, that was like my introduction to being on stage, and sort of, I feel like it helped like getting into character for those things, helped me kind of get into character when I'm singing or when I'm telling a certain story or something like that. So I think if it was Broadway, or if it was working with Spike Lee, or like working on a movie and like, being nominated for something, I think that might be it, where I'm just like, all right, I think it's safe to say, well, I guess we never arrived, but we've gotten somewhere with this.
Absolutely. You say being nominated. How about winning? Come on now. Let's
get too ahead of myself now.
They say, write down the vision and make it plain. Why not? Say what you want.
You better
put it out there.
Okay, write down the vision to make it plain.
Do it. Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, I see that some of the finalists are arriving here. We'll chat with them in just a second. If you are just tuning in, welcome to the Pulse of Keanna Faircloth. I am here with Miss Samara Joy, who is a fabulous, phenomenal vocalist who will be dropping her debut self-titled album on July 9th. So mark your calendars. Be sure you set it to get a copy. She's actually going to be coming out with physical copies, even vinyl, of your album, right, Samara?
Say it one more time.
You're coming out with your album in vinyl format as well.
Yes, and you can definitely pre-order that because I'm working with a label, a UK label right now. It's called Whirlwind Recordings. So you can pre-order CD and vinyl by just going to their website.
And what is that website?
Whirlwindrecordings.com should be.
Beautiful. I love it that, you have such a, like I said, that mature kind of old soul vintage vibe to you already. So for you to be coming out with the album in vinyl format, I know it's like, the thing to do now to have a record on vinyl. But for you, I feel like it's really a special thing to have your debut album come out on vinyl, especially with a voice like yours, because I can kind of hear like the crackle of the vinyl and your voice. It just makes you feel like you're in a smoky just club, listening to the sounds of Samara Joy. I love that touch. Thank you for coming out with the album in vinyl. I got to pre-order that myself.
I'm so excited for that. To have my own record in vinyl, it's really surreal.
I'm sure the support you've received, it seems, has been phenomenal. You say you're with a label right now out of the UK. You have a great publicity team behind you, and Lydia Liebman, and you're working with Chris Meads as well.
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome. How is it that did these now tell me, because you're so new on the scene, did people find you and offer and want to lend support to you, or did you have to go out and do the legwork as a result of winning the 2019 Sarah Vaughan competition? How did that work?
I guess it was a mixture of both, but ultimately the people that I'm working with now reached out to me. Well, let's see. Matt Pearson was a judge for the Sarah Vaughan competition, so he reached out to me. He also manages Pasquale, so happenstance. But then he reached out to Chris, and then Matt and Chris reached out to me, and we had an agreement. So yeah, it was a little bit of both. But I'm grateful to have such an amazing team who supports me for the start of kind of venturing into being new on the scene and stuff. I'm really grateful that I'm not kind of tiptoeing, seeing, okay, is this right? No, okay, make a mistake. All right. Obviously there's mistakes to be made, but I'm glad to have experienced people on my side.
Yeah, and you're certainly standing on the shoulders of musical greats, which is, of course, as you mentioned, all the folks on your album backing you up. So that's a testament as well to where you're headed, the trajectory that you are on as an artist. Now, do you want to, because you have such an amazing jazz voice, of course, but I know you love other types of music as well. How do you want to explore that as you move on here in your career?
I'm sorry, please say that one more time.
I know you have a love as well for other genres of music, not just jazz, although you are an amazing jazz singer. So how do you see yourself incorporating those other styles of music into your career moving forward? Do you have any interest in moving beyond jazz?
I do. I've been thinking about that lately too, about how to expand to include the things that I grew up listening to. It may start with singing a hymn to start a show. It may start with an arrangement of a song that I grew up loving. Or maybe it'll be like having two separate groups, the jazz group and the another, that kind of thing. But I'm not sure. I'm really not sure yet. I think I want it to happen organically, or be like, now it's time to sort of move into the next phase of music and of development and of creating. But for now, I'm happy where I am, but I'm also being challenged, which I love, and challenged to grow and challenged to develop in the music. So I'm cool where I am right now, but I am thinking, how can I incorporate more of what I grew up with into my own artistry.
I love that. How is your family? How are they feeling about the success that you're seeing now?
My family has always been so supportive, and we're all kind of spread out. So family in Philly, family in Delaware, family in Seattle, family in the Philippines. But they've all always been so supportive of everything that I've done. So everybody's happy, and which I'm really grateful for. Also, having a team of support as far as management goes, but also as far as family goes. They've always been so supportive and helpful, and they're all creative and singers in their own right. So
singers. I know you got to come from a line of singers. Your grandparents had a group of their own, right?
The Savettes of Philadelphia, the choral group. Yeah, and my grandmother, who's a part of that group, Ruth McClendon, she played organ and she sang soprano. My grandfather, Elder Goldwire, he used to play the trombone back in the day. He sings too. He's still here too. 92, I believe.
Wow.
So yeah, and everybody, aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters, everybody sings. Cousins, everybody.
I love it. That's amazing. So you got to bring the family in on one of your albums one day.
Sorry. They did have an album that I also grew up listening to that they made back in the day. Because my uncle by law, his name was Keith Diamond, and he produced for Billy Ocean. He produced for Donna Summer. So they made that gospel album. I don't think it was ever released, but that's I also grew up listening to my family sing, like literally their compositions, their arrangements, all that kind of stuff. So I definitely want to have them on something. It's gotta happen.
Awesome. Well, I see that the finalists for this year's Sarah Vaughan Jazz Vocal Competition are here in the house. I'm going to bring them in here one by one so that you can offer some pearls of wisdom before we got to let you go for your gig at Django. Starts at 9. I don't want you to be late. Oh, look, is that the room? You're in the room now?
Yep, it's right there.
You're in the lobby? Awesome. So let's bring in folks here. Hailey Brinnel.
Hi.
How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. I'm sitting in Philly in my apartment. It's a great night.
Welcome to the Pulse. Thank you for being here.
So happy to be here. Can you hear me and see me all right?
Yes, perfect.
Oh, lovely.
Very good. Let's bring in Tawanda here. Hi.
Hi.
How are you? Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, Hailey. Hi, Samara. Nice to meet you. Hey.
Congrats, y'all. Congrats.
Bring in Gabrielle. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the Pulse. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And we'll bring in Mr. Benny, last but not least.
Woo.
Benack III. Hey, Benny. Congratulations.
Thank you. Hey, everybody.
I am so excited. You all are looking at the finalists for this year's Sarah Vaughan Jazz Vocal Competition at NJPAC. And you all are basically, this competition, you know, is prestigious. I'm sure that is why you were drawn to even apply for it. Let's start with Hailey. Hailey, just introduce yourself to the folks. Tell folks who you are.
Sure. I'm Hailey Brinnel. I'm a singer and a trombonist, actually, too. I live in Philly. Went to Temple University. Been in Philly for like 7 years. Really excited to be in the competition this year.
Awesome. Tawanda.
Hi, I am Tawanda Suessbrich-Joaquim. I am first generation American, was born in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And I live in LA now. You might hear some sirens in the background, so sorry about that. And yeah, really excited to be a part of this jazz competition. It's my first, so yeah, just really excited to be here.
Awesome. Benny?
I hope you guys can hear me. I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm on the streets of New York City. I know Samara's over at the Roxy about to play a gig. I'm in the Village about to play a gig. I hope my connection's okay.
We're good.
It's an honor to be here with these lovely ladies. Benny Benack, Pittsburgh, PA. Now I'm a New Yorker. So looking forward to hearing everybody and getting to meet face to face.
Yeah. All right, Gabrielle.
I'm in New Orleans, Louisiana, and I've actually done this competition one time before.
I saw that. Was it 2018? You were a finalist then?
That sounds right. Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm really excited to do it again, and I think you're all great.
Awesome. Let's get Samara back in here real quick. Samara, are you there? I know you got to get ready to get out of here.
She's got a gig.
Yeah, got a gig, got to go.
I love it. Booked and busy.
Booked and busy.
Okay.
You know, so Samara, real quick, tell the folks, you know, what they can kind of expect with this competition. I know you kind of got into this thing and life is really snowballed in a great way for you. So do you have any words of advice? Oh, you're muted. Let's say it again, Samara.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I don't know. I guess don't go in with the competition mindset. Just go in ready to enjoy the experience. I was really nervous about it, especially after that first group rehearsal. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be here. Like, everybody's from France and from Italy. I'm from the Bronx. You know, I don't know if I'm really ready for this, but you just go in
Oh, we got the gist of it. Samara.
Totally.
You're breaking up there, but you go and have an amazing, amazing gig at Django. After this interview, please, guys, be sure to tune into the live stream of Samara Joy with Emmett Cohen tonight at 9, and then again at 10:30 at Django. So thank you so much, Samara. Congratulations and good luck to you on your debut.
Ooh, break a leg, girl.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, many of you here that are finalists this year, you're no stranger to competition. I know you, Benny, have been in the Monk competition, and you've you're like a fixture in New York at this point. So let me ask you this honestly: why do you feel you need the Sarah Vaughan Jazz Vocal International competition? You're muted, Benny.
Sorry. I think, I even now have younger musicians that, are just starting off and are wondering if they should apply for this competition or that competition. And apart from all of the accolades and prize money and kind of, opportunity that comes, a competition is also just a great opportunity to sharpen your sword and, kind of make yourself a better artist, because I know Samara was saying how nervous she was. It doesn't matter how many gigs or concerts I play. I'm never more nervous and anxious than I am when you're being judged. And it's just an opportunity to dig deep and try and become the best version of yourself. And as far as, what I could use in my career, I would just look at Samara, how the competition has been such a springboard for her and, her career. And I've been fortunate in New York for a long time to kind of be chipping away and kind of grinding and night after night kind of building my career brick by brick. But gosh, if you have an opportunity like this to attach a competition with this kind of prestigious name to your resume, it's a shortcut. It's a fast track. And you look at all of the people that have won the competition and been finalists. I mean, their resumes speak for themselves. So even just getting this far is something to put on the resume just alone.
Absolutely. Now you have your trumpet there in your hand. I know you are killing on the trumpet as well. Play a couple notes. I'm putting you on the spot right now.
Oh my gosh. I'm just warming up. I'm like, Samara's in the lobby of the Rock Hotel. I'm right next to Smalls. Everybody's like waiting in line. I don't even know. I just realized I have AirPods in. I don't even know if you can hear that.
Yes, we heard it. Thanks for that. So in the competition, like Hailey, you're a trombonist yourself. Are you going to be incorporating that into, your performance?
I'm actually not. It was a really tough decision. But to be honest, I'm pretty excited. I don't often get to just sing. I went to school as a trombonist, and that's what most of my gigs are. But I've been singing for longer than I've been playing trombone, so it's really nice to be able to just do that.
Awesome. Well, I know that, you're going to, at some point, break out the trombone on a recording that happens after this competition, I'm sure. So it's awesome that you can do both. That's amazing.
It's a lot of fun. I actually just put out my first record on March 5th this year, and it's kind of split with trombone and voice.
Cool. Congratulations. What's the name of your album?
It's a long title. I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles.
Okay. What's the meaning behind that?
It's a song from 1918. It was my grandfather, my Zadie's favorite song. And he passed away right before I arranged it. And then I decided it'd be a nice tribute.
Oh, that's beautiful. Now, Gabrielle, you mentioned that this is going to be your second time as a finalist in this competition. What brought you back this year?
Well, I had a great time the first time. It was very connecting for me because I think, the jazz community is worldwide, but it's also very New York. And so it was cool for me to be able to go to the East Coast and just sort of connect myself with other people and see where I fit in, and to experience myself alongside those other women. And I guess there's nothing bad that can happen from it. So I thought, well, I'll do it again.
Yeah. Now, Tawanda, you've also sort of had a connection with the competition. You performed with one of the winners of this competition, Jasmine Horn. Is that true? No.
I wish. Wow. I was like, I did.
I'm sorry. I thought that you did. Well, I'm speaking it into your life, girl.
Thank you. That means the world to me.
Well, how are you connected to this competition? How did you find yourself here? And as a finalist, what encouraged you to be here?
Yeah, well, I studied vocal jazz for a few years in college. And I studied with Mirabai Daniels, who is the partner of Eddie Daniels, who is like a world-renowned saxophone player and flautist. And he works with George Claben, who is a producer and founder of Resonance Records here in LA. And I moved to LA in 2019. And so we were kind of, just meeting up, and he was like, all right, like, show me what you got. Come to the studio. Let's see what's up. So we recorded a few tracks there, and he saw a lot of potential in me, and his belief in me is really what has propelled me so far. And so he wanted me to try out for this competition and help me get all of the materials together, which I'm so grateful for. And and then I made it. It was a really nice surprise. I'm very, very new to the jazz world. I come from a family of non-musicians. So my intro into music was very much it was like a world music household more. My mom's German, my dad's from Mozambique in Africa. So I wasn't really raised with jazz. So jazz kind of came a little bit later for me, and improvisation and that kind of world was something that I was really interested in. So yeah, and then now I'm here.
So jazz came later. How much later?
I would say like when I was 17, 18, I really started like listening and seriously listening in the way that I think all budding jazz vocalists do. And that's something that I'm still like every single day I find a new artist and I'm like, wow, I've never heard of this person before. And George, my producer, is like, yeah, well, you've never heard of, you're still so new. That's great. Then we have more things to listen to. So I feel like I'm really still getting into the groove of things, and it's really fun and exciting. I feel like I'm discovering all of these new things. So
that's awesome. Now, I know, Benny, you come from, a background and, family of musicians. So how's it been for you, coming up in the music? Did you always know that you would be a jazz musician?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very fortunate. For those that don't know, my father and grandfather are both jazz musicians. My mother is a vocalist. She teaches voice at Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh, classical music theater. So, from the time that I was as young as I can remember, it was all about jazz, and it was a lifelong love affair. And I can even remember being in high school and my mom trying to get me to take AP history and AP calculus, and me kind of just being like, Mom, what are we doing here? We know I'm going to be a musician. Like, we don't need SAT scores. Like, let's not worry about it. Obviously, that didn't work, and I was still in AP history class. But, the Todd Barton, the great presenter, now at the Keystone Corner in Baltimore, he always says, take care of the music, and the music takes care of you. And I'm sure all of the ladies, we're all here today because whenever we discovered music, we fell in love, and they've obviously worked very hard to hone their talent and get here. And the music has brought us all together. So I'm I'm grateful for the journey that jazz has taken me on and keeps me going.
Well said.
Now, for you, Hailey, and then Gabrielle, tell me about your background and your connection to jazz and how you sort of found yourself here.
I was really lucky. My dad is a piano player and a singer, and I started gigging out with him when I was 12. It was a mix, and the jazz I grew up with was more pre-50s. I went to jazz school and was naming all these standards that no one had ever heard of. Yeah, I started playing out, singing, and playing drums with him actually when I was 12, and sort of kept doing that. Then got to college. I actually wanted to be just a music teacher when I went to school. I always really wanted to do elementary music. I did it for a couple of years out of school. It wasn't quite my thing. Yeah, music has always sort of been there for me. Not all jazz, but a lot of it. Yeah.
Awesome. What about you, Gabrielle?
Like Tawanda, I don't come from a musical family. So it was a very like individual and exciting discovery for me, just music in general. And I think I sort of fell into jazz, or jazz fell into me, because it like fits me so well. Like I love the improvisational nature of it, but also like the structure. There's such a structure, but you can be free within that. And I love that. I also love, I studied opera a little bit, and that sort of, it just wasn't me. Like you can't smoke or drink if you're an opera singer, and like, but also it's just, I think that it was something that when I heard I love singing. So when I heard her, I was like, oh, I feel like she's talking to me. And then from there, that was my starting point. And then just hearing the voices of all of these people who were speaking this language that I seem to like understand, sent me on a lifelong musical journey.
I love that. I love when people have those stories of just kind of organically coming into the music. I have a similar story in that I played piano, in college and all of that, and nobody in my family is a musician. So I totally get that thing that sort of draws you in, and you don't quite know or understand what's going on, but you know that there's a love affair, and you gotta be there with it. So that's always really cool. I should mention we're missing one finalist here, Andrea Miller, I believe. And I'm sorry she couldn't be with us tonight, but you'll be able to see all 5 finalists on June 6th at NJPAC for the 2021 Sarah Vaughan International Jazz Vocal Competition. Go online to njpac.org for more information about that. I'm really wishing all of you guys the very best. I feel like all of you are winners anyway, but of course there can only be one winner. And that's okay, because, sometimes, it's funny because some of the greatest stars from, say, American Idol are the ones that didn't win. So, good luck.
Thank you.
And, tell folks before we get out of here where they can follow you and your journey, of course, even outside of this competition. Start with you, Hailey.
I have a website, haileybrinnel.com. Also, I'm pretty active on Instagram. Those are probably the 2 best places to find me.
And what's your Instagram handle?
At Hailey Brinnel. Pretty simple.
Okay, cool. Tawanda?
You can find me on Instagram as well. I will be at Hakuna Tawanda, like Hakuna Matata, but with my name, Tawanda.
Love that.
And Facebook page, got some stuff on YouTube, Linktree, all that good stuff.
Beautiful. Gabrielle?
Instagram is definitely where I'm most active. I'm at Gabtron007.
Oh.
And also, my website, I released an album in the summertime, in August. So you can hear that on Spotify or iTunes.
Beautiful. Benny?
Yeah, my website, my Facebook artist page are both just Benny Benack Jazz. And then all my socials, my YouTube channel, everything is just BB Jazz I for the third.
Cool. And you have a residency, a regular one.
Yeah, we've been doing Wednesday nights here at Smalls. It kind of just got off the ground. You know, they had some you know, it was a bit of a witch hunt with some state authority people. They got shut down for a minute, but they're coming back. And, you know, for the people that aren't as familiar with what's going on in New York City, as of June 1st, they're officially, the curfew is over. The trains are 24 hours. So a lot of the jazz clubs in the city, June 1st is kind of their green light to bring back the late night jam sessions. And, you know, New York starts to become the city that never sleeps again in another week or so. So hopefully everything is on the comeback trail. I know it was touch and go with NJPAC if we were going to be able to get together in person. So I'm glad that it worked out, that we can all meet.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for joining me here on the Pulse.
Thank you, Keanna.
You're welcome.
Bye, guys. See you soon.
Bye. Nice
See
to meet
y'all
you.
soon. Thanks.
Good luck to all of you, and be sure to check out this year's finalists of the Jazz Festival, the Sarah Vaughan International Jazz Competition on June 6th. More information can be found and get your tickets at njpac.org. I'm Keanna Faircloth. Thank you so much for joining me here on The Pulse, and I'll see you next time. Have a great night.